Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie and today I'm sharing with you my April favorites. This is my first favorites video that I've ever done, so I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and start with foundation. I actually have two, well, they're not foundation, they're BB creams. The first BB cream is the Flower Beauty BB cream and I have the shade BB1. I really like the packaging. BB1 is their lightest shade and it is pretty yellow, so just keep that in mind. For me, it works pretty well. I do have to do, I think, 2 layers at least on my cheek area where I have a lot of acne scarring, and if you've seen any of my videos, you know I have a ton of that and I have very acne prone skin, but this does cover everything. It lasts really well throughout the day. It has a pretty matte finish, but it doesn't look dry on the skin. I do have quite a bit of dry patches on like breakouts and some texture that I have, and it doesn't emphasize that at all. It just sits really beautifully on the skin and I absolutely love it. The next BB cream that I have is the Covergirl Clean Matte BB cream, and this is their lightest shade, the shade 510 Fair. This is amazing. I don't think it's quite as full coverage as the Flower Beauty one. This I can do about 3 layers on the spots that I need it, and I still have a little bit of that scarring peeking through, so I do have to conceal a couple areas when I use this, but that's okay because this really lasts so amazing throughout the day. It really controls my oils, so if you have oily skin, I highly recommend this. It does not emphasize my dry patches. I will say it's a little more matte as far as the finish goes than the Flower Beauty one is, but it's also controlling your oils a lot better. This is the Covergirl and this is the Flower Beauty. So I don't know if you can see on camera, but the Flower Beauty, like I said, is pretty yellow toned. And then the last foundation that I have is the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. Oh my gosh, this is a new discovery in my collection. I absolutely love this. It has such a beautiful finish. It just really feels so hydrating. It makes your skin look very plump and healthy. It has great coverage. I can get complete full coverage with this with about 2 layers where I need it. And it just sits so beautifully on the skin. The only thing I don't like about this is that it doesn't last very well on my skin throughout the day. I get pretty oily with this within like 2 hours. So I am going to keep playing with it to see if I use a couple different products, if I can make it last longer on my skin. But I still love it and I still use it because the finish is absolutely stunning when you first apply it. So these are all 3 of the shades swatched. This is the Cushion Foundation, the Flower Beauty, and then the Clean Matte BB Cream. So now we'll move on to a setting powder. This is the Essence All About Matte setting powder, and this is supposed to be translucent. See, that's the color when you swatch it. I mean, if you blend it out, it's not going to give you like that white cast. I don't know if it has flashback or not. I've never really tested that, but I've been using this to set my...
It's like falling apart right now.
I've been using this to set my under eye, and I love it for that. I have found that I really cannot use loose powders on my under eyes because I have too many fine lines under there. Even though this says it is a matte powder, I find that it sets the under eyes beautifully. I do not crease throughout the day when I use this. It does not look heavy. It does not look dry. It brightens it up a little bit, and I don't know, I just really like it. The next couple things that I have are highlighters. 2 of them are from Tarte, and they are from the Amazonian Clay 12-hour highlighter line, and I have the shade Stunner, which is here, and the shade Exposed. These are beautiful highlights. They are very intense. They smell like chocolate. Love the smell. They're very smooth and buttery to the touch. They're not very powdery. They look so stunning on the skin.
Oh my gosh! I just dropped both of them.
This is actually just magnetized in there, so these would probably depot really well. I mean, I just dropped it and it fell right out. So this is the shade Stunner, and this is the shade Exposed. Both of these work for my skin tone, but if you are more fair, I would definitely recommend Stunner to you. The formula is just really amazing. When I first swatched Exposed in store, it was like when they first came out with these highlighters, and Exposed was the only shade that they had. I was not super excited about it. I didn't think it was that amazing. I didn't think it would be worth $28, but they really are. They're amazing quality, and they last really well throughout the day. Next highlighter that I have, I got in a BoxyCharm. This is the Ofra Rodeo Drive highlighter. I've been wanting this for a while. Obviously, everyone raves about it on YouTube, but I didn't want to spend the money on it, and I also thought that it was going to be too dark on my skin tone, but it actually works really well on my skin tone. I think if I really built this up too much, it would look like a gold stripe on my face, but I just use kind of a light hand with this, and it actually kind of just matches my skin tone, but it just looks so beautiful on the skin. So there it is swatched, and you can kind of see it just like meshes in with my skin tone. And it just gives you that beautiful, like, wet look to your skin. Finding that is like my favorite type of highlight. Next thing I've really been loving is a liquid lipstick. This is the Aesthetica liquid lipstick. This shade particularly is called Belle. This isn't really the shade I've been loving. I've been loving their nude shade called Afterglow, which I think is in my purse in my car right now, but This formula is just really, really amazing. It kind of reminds me of the Wet n Wild liquid lipstick, like the catsuit liquid lipstick they have. That formula, it's very, very comfortable. It's not the most long-wearing liquid lipstick I've ever used, but it's just very comfortable. It's not quite 100% transfer proof, but it doesn't emphasize the lines on my lip. It doesn't dry them out. It glides on very easily. It's very pigmented. It's kind of liquidy and also kind of moussey at the same time. It just applies really, really easily and quickly becoming my favorite formula. These are $9.97 on Amazon's website. All of the Aesthetica stuff is sold on Amazon and also on Outlook every now and again, and it's very affordable. Their contour palette is my absolute favorite. If you've been watching my videos, you know that. Okay, so the next thing is eyelashes. These are the Ardell Wispies. These are just so easy to apply. I'm wearing them today and they just look so gorgeous and natural, but also glam. They're the easiest eyelashes to apply that I have found to this day, and they're very comfortable. The next couple things that I want to talk about are brushes. These are both my two favorite bronzer brushes. This one is from Wet n Wild. This is their powder brush. I have just found that this blends out my bronzer so beautifully. You could also use it to set your face or put blush on, whatever you want to use it for, but I love it for bronzer, and they're so soft. I don't experience any shedding with these, and I've washed them quite a few times. I have a couple of this same exact brush. I just absolutely love it. The next one is one that I got off of Amazon. I use this in my full face using only makeup that I bought on Amazon, which I think I already put in the cards. I'll put it down below. This is much larger than the Wet n Wild brush, but it still just works so well for bronzer. I usually will use like one end of it, and so I'll have like bronzer just on half of the brush, and that works beautifully. You could use it to set your face. You could use it with whatever you wanted to, just like with any other brush. But this one, it feels so high quality for being like just over $1 on Amazon. It's so soft. It's just amazing, and I've been very, very obsessed with it. Next thing that I've been loving, and is actually my holy grail, is this setting spray slash toner. This is the La Roche-Posay. I don't know if that's how you say it. This is their Zero Zinc toner spray, and I talked about this in my best products for oily skin video that I'll put up in the cards if you want to check it out. I've been using this to set my makeup, which it says on their website that you can do that, or you can use it as a toner, which you put on after you wash your face before you put on your moisturizer or other skincare. This is best for oily skin or people with visible pores, especially for oily skin though. It says it's a clear water-like toner mist with zinc sulfate to help target excess shine and visible pores. There's no alcohol in this, which is really great because a lot of mattifying or oil controlling sprays or setting sprays do have alcohol in them, and this does not. It's almost pure zinc sulfate, which is good for the skin. But you get 5 fluid ounces in this, and it's like $14.99, super affordable. This is highly comparable to the Urban Decay De-Slick makeup setting spray. That one is $31. You only get 4 fluid ounces, and it actually is not as good as this one. This one, like as soon as you spray it, it's going to make you look more matte. It's not going to make you look like dull matte, but it definitely controls your oils. It's good for your skin, and I am just obsessed with it. It's like my holy grail setting spray. Another setting spray that I have is the Makeup Revolution Oil Control Fixing Spray. This was also in that video where I talked about the best products for oily skin. This doesn't technically control my oils. It actually doesn't at all, but I have been using these paired together this month. If I'm feeling very powdery or if I'm looking very powdery, I'll first spray this and then I'll go in with this, because this takes away that powdery look but doesn't control my oils. So then I'll go in with this so that it will also control my oils. So paired together, this is like a magical combination. The next product that I want to talk about is extremely expensive, but oh my gosh, is this amazing. This is the Sunday Riley Good Genes. This is an all-in-one lactic acid treatment. It deeply exfoliates the dull surface of skin for clarity, radiance, and younger looking skin, visibly brightens the appearance of age spots and discolorations, instantly plumps the look of fine lines and wrinkles in 3 minutes. I swear to you guys, within 10 minutes of putting this product on, my skin felt smoother. I could feel that texture going away. It looked smoother. It was more plump. It looked more radiant. I've only been using this for a week, and the texture on my skin is almost completely gone. I mean, I have bumps on my skin. That's acne. It's not an acne treatment. It's not going to prevent acne. It is going to help acne that's already there and, you know, prevent it from getting very bad. And it is supposed to fade dark spots, I believe. I do notice that when I wake up in the morning that my acne scarring is much lighter. I use this morning and night. I will wash my face. I will put my toner on, and then once that's completely sunk in, I'll put on my Sunday Riley. I really like to let this sink into the skin. I wait at least 10 minutes before I will apply my moisturizer or any other skincare products, because this is going to leave the skin feeling kind of sticky or tacky for a little bit until it's completely sunk in. and then I'll go in with my moisturizer. But oh my gosh, this is the best purchase. It is totally worth every dime that I spent on it. And you really don't need a lot of product. You don't need a full pump. I used a full pump the first night that I used it and it was way too much. So, you know, definitely use like half a pump for your entire face. It does say that it's great for all skin types, but it does mention on the back that if you have sensitive skin that you can use this as just a mask. Leave it on for 15 minutes and then rinse well and pat dry. So just keep that in mind, that if you are sensitive to this at all, that you can just use it as a mask and it's going to have the same effects. The first night that I used it, I noticed a little bit of stinging or tingling. Like, I'm talking a little bit. It wasn't even significant enough that it like bothered me at all. It was just a couple spots, probably the spots that were the worst on my face. But after I think like 2 nights of using it, I don't feel that tingling at all when I apply it. And I have very sensitive skin. I thought that was the last thing, but I have one more thing here that I want to talk about. This is a lotion. This is the Tony Moly Tea Tree Sebum or Pore Lotion. It's just a screw off lid, and then you have this little tab piece that you remove. And I don't know if you're supposed to just throw it away or if you can just throw it away, but I just keep it in there just to kind of keep the product nice and fresh inside of there. This is a very liquidy lotion or moisturizer. It smells pretty strongly of tea tree. If you don't like tea tree, you're not gonna like this. It feels very cooling on the skin. It definitely reduces the size of my pores. When I apply it, I can tell my skin looks smoother, and it really controls my oils throughout the day. I have been looking for a product that is going to be comparable or better or just as good as the Estee Edit Pore Vanishing Moisturizer. It's not a pore vanishing moisturizer, but it definitely is a great mattifying moisturizer and primer. That controls my oil like nothing else, and this is very highly comparable to that. I don't know that it keeps me matte quite as long as the Estee Edit does, but this is half the price, if not less than half the price, and you get 7 fluid ounces in here compared to 1.7 fluid ounces in the Estee Edit. And I can use this as my moisturizer and my primer in one. It does have 4% glycerin in it, so that helps to protect the skin, and it also is going to help adhere your makeup to your skin. So when I used this one day, I used it on my entire face, obviously, and then I used a mattifying primer on one half of my face, and the half that only had the moisturizer on it stayed more matte than the other side with the mattifying primer on top of this. This is absolutely amazing. It definitely moisturizes the skin, but it's not going to leave you with a greasy feel. It's very light, so it absorbs into the skin quite quickly. But I think that is finally it for my favorites video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I was so excited to film this. Like I said, it is my first favorites that I have ever done, and I'm excited to continue to do these each month. I think I'm going to do a completely separate video on the disappointing products that I've used this month. I know some people will include that into their monthly favorites, but I have quite a few disappointing products to talk about. And even though I did just post a disappointing products video like a couple weeks ago, I think I am gonna go ahead and film another one. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Love you guys. Bye.